Meet your soulmate now with Tender. With scientific precision and emotional profiling, we guarantee you'll find the perfect connection. Whoever you are, wherever you are, your soulmate is within reach.
A conspiracy to control people, find what kind of blood they have, and very easily allow predators to feed from them. That is the concept behind Tender, the app that was the main part of the ARG leading up to and past the announcement of Bloodlines 2. Now recently I've heard the developers, I've seen on the website them talking about how the game was about the blood trade and the control of it while you're playing, and that's a main part of the story. And I was thinking like, well, they haven't really given us much of an idea of any clues as to who has control of it, or maybe where it's happening, how it's happening, what even is the blood trade. And I was like, oh yeah, they did an entire thing about it. So now I'm thinking that the Tender ARG is way more entwined with the story than I had initially anticipated. So I'm going to go through the history of it, the vague story and the connections made between various parts of it before, during, and after the announcement of Bloodlines 2. Our story begins with an excitable Twitter user known as NoxJ2019, who's got a new account, loving life, and is apparently working on some videos with some YouTubers, and from there it just starts to get weirder. He's into this new app called Tender Beta. He's looking for love, and there's lots of weird codes and puzzles popping up on his Twitter account. These codes were turning up in YouTubers' streams and videos, and eventually putting them together led people to two websites. The first one was the Tender Beta, promising that it would pin down your emotional resonance and find you your soulmate. And with all of these wonderful images behind me taken from the website, where it looks very professional, it looked very slick, and you could eventually log into Tender by using your Paradox account. You created your own profile that showed your emotions, your interests, including sport and music and thanatology. It had some creepy undertones though. It asked you what your blood type was, and it matched you with users who didn't seem to be having the best time. Some of them had toes missing. There's some very important characters in this ARG that were on that website, and including Nox himself. He was having a good time. Eventually, however, he was going through all these puzzles and picking up on clues, and he got sent to the Trust No More website, which seems to be a fairly simple conspiracy-based website talking about aliens and cryptids, but there was a new poster on there. Someone called Manchuria. Manchuria left some very unsettling posts on Trust No More, the first of which is about mind control. And they seem to be obsessed with it. They researched the zombie ant, controlled by a fungus, the zombie snail, controlled by a parasitic flatworm, zombie rodents, and mind control of people, which she very strongly suspects is connected to a social media platform called Tender. Now, the people in the ARG did some amazing work. Over on Game Detectives, you can find the entire list of clues, answers, websites, links, videos, literally everything. All the material collected and decoded for this ARG. It's such an incredible feat, both for the creators, but also for the detectives who figured it all out. And through a bunch of puzzles and different ciphers, they discovered leaked internal memos from the Tender team. A Malcolm Chandler, the CEO, and a Job Preston, Chief Technology Officer of the app, describing some unusual things that both Manchuria and Betrayed Mind couldn't quite figure out the purpose of. There's clearly something more going on, but the actual purpose of whatever the app is for is seeped in mystery at this point. But the people figured out what was going on, and they found these two. One is from Job, the CTO, to Malcolm, the CEO, with subject Regent redacted. It is done. The redacted, which we are internally calling the Regent redacted, is now operational on the Tender platform, all to your exact specifications. This is a physical piece of paper that was dropped in the real world, by the way. People went to a place and picked this up. That's what I love about ARGs. Anyway, the Regent redacted is not visible to other users in any way. This hidden blank allows for the forced blank blank, as well as the exclusive partners feature as discussed. The Regent blank allows access to the biometric readings of other users, as well as the option to blank blank. As per your request, the Regent blank is a secret to most within the company. I will have the list of names of the few employees who have worked on it in your office shortly. Sir, could we meet in person tonight? I require more. Semper Service, Job Preston. Now, this is worrying. An app with your location data, an app with biometric data, and so much information about you, revealing that to whoever, exclusive partners, is worrying and actually a real world kind of problem that people are worried about. As security breaches like this are massive, and it being a secret from most users is terrifying. What are they using it for? And this is what Betrayed Mind and Manchuria aim to find out and leak to the people who are playing this ARG. There is then a second message, but this time from the CEO Malcolm to Job, the CTO, which says Regent Dashboard Control Group blank. Now, starting to get worrying here. We know what the Regent thing is. It is a Regent dashboard, clearly a part of the website that no one can access aside from a few select partners. No one at the app company knows about this. It's been developed in secret for a secret group of special people. And I think we all know where this is going. But this one reads, my patience wears thin. When I ask something of a thrall, I expect it done. The feature should have been rolled out weeks ago. Quick and pace, Job. I will allow 1 week of testing in New York. Gather as much data as you can, because I will personally do whatever it takes to see the dashboard activate for our blank before March. Think on what you've witnessed in your short time serving me. I invite you to contemplate my methods of motivation. We must be ready for blank on blank. If you think the New York event was big, blank users will be invited to a private party, some of them blank blank the world. Get it done, Job, or I will empty your head of every simpering thought and fill it with so much fear that you beg permission before pissing yourself. -M. Malcolm is clearly in control of Tender, and the whistleblowers are working really hard to figure out what is going on here. There is a party, that much we know. There is a secret dashboard. Eventually, we see proof of it. These images include a geolocated map of people who are alone, people who are part of this test group that Malcolm was talking about, and they have clearly been targeted using the app. And then there is a mysterious checklist of 3 phases. Clearly these people were targeted, tested, and then terminated. Users of Tender are now in mortal danger. This Omega dataset has proved without a shadow of a doubt that it has a nefarious purpose. People have died and they are being targeted using it. This brings us to the final stage of what we know as Tender at the moment, Operation Pegasus, spearheaded by Trust No More website employees and other people in the community, Manchuria, Betrayed Mind, all looking to infiltrate the launch party of Tender. A few select people went out to find invitations. Outstar received a special "You Are Chosen" message to attend this party in San Francisco. This is clearly where it is all going to kick off, and the game detectives are on the case, online and in physical space, looking for a way to get in. They have contacts with Trust No More, which are helping provide uniforms, an ID, and information about how to find where this party even is. All of this while Tender is releasing to the public. You can do quests on there, and one quest leads you to a chatbot called Angela via Betrayed Minds user profile. You could ask Angela who is Trust No More, you could ask what is Tender. It would give you vague answers as to what this person knows. It was actually a chatbot, but that's no fun, we'll ignore that. The clues are mounting. No one is exactly sure what Tender is for, who it's for, and who made it even. But Angela is clearly Betrayed Mind, and at this point the event is nigh. The San Francisco event, it is going to happen at the Folsom Street Foundry. People are invited, people infiltrate the event, and to make sure that the conspiracy can be revealed before it all goes terribly wrong, agents at the event had to retrieve a projector remote, give it to Angela so that she can reveal everything. And that is when Malcolm's speech started, and it all went wrong.
A lot of exciting features. I'm very excited to show you. All right. Apologies. Even though we're trying to bring social media into the future, apparently live tech glitches are a part of all possible futures.
What's the matter, Malcolm? Lost control. Tender uses algorithms to manipulate you. Okay, they use procedural emotional generation and operant conditioning in ways I never intended. They create dependency. Only Malcolm knows Chimera's agenda. It even has connections going all the way back to the CIA's MKUltra mind control experiments. Aren't you going to say something, you smug son of a bitch?
My kindred and I desire an innovative way to flavor your essence, as well as a way to condition the bovine masses to be even more oblivious to predators. Angela's work helped brilliantly. It paired nicely with my own techniques of erasing short-term memory. The live stream has been cut off. No one here will remember. And Angela... What? What are you doing? Tender is the future. I am the future.
What a mess.
Someone's going to have to clean this up.
Clearly, Angela, Betrayed Mind, and Manchuria were all the same person. At this point, she disappeared. No one heard from her ever since. There were mentions of possibly seeing her wheeled out on a stretcher into an ambulance, but when asked a second time, the witness said they didn't know what was going on. However, their house was surrounded by garlic, smelled of the stuff, covered in crucifixes. And everyone at the event, including the person who we started this with, Knox, trying to get out one final message to the world, eventually forgot everything about it. Feeling great even. Everything was fine. Mind control, unfortunately, is a powerful ability for vampires. And that is where the Bloodlines 2 reveal trailer was revealed. And this is where a lot of the connections to the games are starting to make sense for me. There was clearly a person in new suit. That is Malcolm. He's probably from the Camarilla, maybe even the newcomers with their new San Francisco-based, Seattle-based tech companies bringing in new ideas to Vampire Society. And then the old guard, probably the pioneers, not quite sure about this, very eager to end it as soon as possible by devouring Malcolm. And quite clearly, control of Seattle's blood trade is under heavy dispute. This app proves it. New people, new ideas, new technology being brought in to make sure that they can control and target individuals who have whatever flavor of blood they want. They can get someone at a tap of a smartphone. Now, this is dangerous considering the Second Inquisition tracks smartphones, but it's an app. Everyone has it. They're looking for love using this new algorithm. However, there are people using this Regent dashboard who aren't looking for love, they are looking for something more. They are looking for specific flavors of blood. They are looking for people who can easily be targeted while they're alone, using locations, using biometrics, and using a very raspy voice. What is happening? So this is why I think that we've already seen the main conflict that we will be dodging around in Bloodlines 2. From there, the majority, the large part of the Tender ARG sort of wrapped up. There were some odds and ends behind that, and a lot of people trying to look for more stuff, but that wasn't the end of it. Coming up to Christmas 2019, and the Bloodlines 2 team are looking for someone to do a charity stream. How seasonal, how Christmas spirit of Outstar to do a Christmas stream and possibly even reveal a few more clues for the next stage of what Tender is evolving into.
You're ridiculous. None of us wants to go down Malcolm's path. Shouldn't even be talking to you.
As I wrote in our texts, I'm offering something different to Malcolm. Something more tenable.
They're going to eat you alive.
So you're right. In that case, you'll get to be the one flushes me out of hiding. But if you're wrong, well, then you get to be the one to lead your kind to a whole new level of trade and prosperity. Either way, you win.
I'm listening.
I need to get the word out to your kindred. I need your help.
Those umbrellas must be getting pretty bad by now, haven't they?
It's fine. Just make it happen.
What's the magic word then?
Please.
Well, alright.
In fact, she is clearly part of the conspiracy, and I can prove it. She is in contact with someone called Remora71. There's clear evidence in the photos, in the audio you've just heard, that she is not what she appears to be. She may be something more, and I will prove it in this video.
Outstar made this all possible. I'd like to think she's rooting for me. Still, I'm wary of her fangs.
And that leads us to the next website, Blood for Trade, operated via a series of mysterious clues and answers that you need to put in that allow you access to audio files recorded by this person, Remora, and using some very generous metaphors about sharks being vampires and people sending their blood to Remora, we slowly hear that Angela was pushed out of co-ownership of Tender. Malcolm forced their blood on Remora. And I think we already know who Remora is in that case, because we are very aware that Malcolm spoke to Job, the CTO, about being a thrall, about their methods of motivation. We hear some background story about what Tender was, how it came to be, and what Remora now is turning it into.
Tender 2.0. I have distilled Malcolm's lumbering dream down to its more elegant essence. No more grand plots of mind control, no more allusions to MK Ultra. Nothing so ridiculously maniacal. No, nothing but metadata, taken from others and brewed into sustenance and success for your kind. Information theft is a crime that humankind has already casually accepted. Even now, your data is being leached by the very device you're engaging me with. So, let's begin. You've shown yourself worthy, and so we can trade. I trust you'll enjoy the vintage of your first sample. In return, I require some of your vintage, sealed in an airtight container and shipped to me fresh, all without ever seeing the sun. That is how transactions will occur.
With Malcolm gone, Remora is a ghoul with no master, someone who needs vampire blood to slake this addiction that they now have to it. He is asking vampires to send him blood in exchange for information on Tender's users that he still has access to. The app is not what it once was, but hiding all this collected information, gathering it from websites, from cookies, from geolocation caches, and all of this collected metadata that he can access and manipulate with what Tender became, he can give targets to vampires. And it worked.
The second time Malcolm fed me his blood, I resisted. He was already in a foul mood when he commanded me forward for the feeding. I pulled away. Malcolm grabbed me by the back of my head and pressed my mouth to his flesh. So forcefully he broke my jaw.
He became extremely suspicious. The cats started to watch him. There were mysterious people who couldn't be picked up by eyesight but could be picked up by CCTV circling his apartment. He moved and he asked Outstar for help to make sure that he survived and was able to provide this service.
I had to change my place of residence again. The other night someone was in my building. Someone that nobody could see, but who showed up in the security cameras. Silly, but I don't like the way the stray cats in the neighborhood look at me. Ridiculous, yes. Are you there now? Are you? Show yourself!
One of my personal favourite tidbits of this part of the story is that Remora saw Thin Bloods as an exciting new audience. He saw that they needed alchemy ingredients. He saw that they needed very specific values of blood, intensely powerful emotions within blood, and he could actually provide that. So he was looking for support from them and could provide them a very valuable service.
Tonight, I want to talk to you, Duskborn, you Thin Bloods. I know something about your blood alchemy. I know you require blood of powerful and specific emotional resonance. Just the sort of thing that Tender's algorithms are perfect for finding and cultivating. You, more than any other group, could benefit most from Tender. I also know you require other odd and esoteric ingredients. I'm looking to expand Tender from a tool of social connection to also include the delivery of physical items. Imagine any arcane ingredient you require at a moment's notice. The others might look down on you, but to me you are a new and exciting market.
Now, did Remora survive? Was Outstar able to convince vampires to leave him alone and use his very valuable service? We're not entirely sure. However, there are some final clues, including the audio logs from Remora and Job, and the Trust No More website, which houses a First Light document leaked. And First Light, if you're aware of the law, is a government-funded task force of vampire hunters who track them, destroy them, and weed out their influence in mortal society. This is a conversation between two vampires. Entertaining? Sure, but I don't like it. Precisely. Why hasn't anyone stopped him, eh? That's what I'm saying. A regnant, bereft ghoul teasing and taunting on the internet, pouring us with this ludicrous market. And during these times, London, Vienna, fully toothed whelps are getting dusted for less. So I ask again, why hasn't anyone stopped him? Or he has support. A shadow patron, maybe he knows about it, maybe he doesn't, but I think someone is protecting him. Ever watch footage of aquatic predators circling? The pattern breaks and they all flit away when something bigger comes along. So why has the rest of us subconsciously shying away from this ghoul and giving him a wide berth? There's a thought to keep you up during the day. I have no doubts that as we get closer to Christmas or whatever the Bloodlines 2 release date might be, it's my best guess, we will see a lot more from this ARG. This is the story thus far. I will update it when there is more. Let me know in the comments if you were involved and if you have any stories and what your theories are on where this might take us. I think I have given you some clues to continue my line of thinking about where the story in Bloodlines 2 will go and the people on the outside that may be supporting this terrible, terrible new way of manipulating people. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you've enjoyed. Thank you to my patrons. And until next time, mustache.